So, do you have any rogue IT going on in your organization, and what's happening there? So, my name is Daniel Greversen. I'm here in Stockholm, and this is the Swedish annual user conference. And as you can see, the weather here, it's not really as nice as it was in Barcelona. But I guess it doesn't matter. We are inside the conference center over here anyway most of the time. So one of the things that I got from yesterday was we're hosting a shared Q&A session with me, Michael Kraftek, and Pontus Bergström that I also had on the Integration podcast a few episodes back, where we talked a little, or where we asked some questions from the audience, and we had a good conversation with the audience. And there was a lot of architectural consideration. What do we actually do in these things? And I think a lot of people, or some of the participants, was sharing something about, well, we have this rogue IT going on in our organization. The business wants these things. They go buy something at Amazon or whatever SaaS application that can serve their need. And how do we actually make sure that it works and it is stable, and what's going on there? So I think that was actually a pretty interesting conversation going on in that space about what business wants versus what integration wants, and what you as an integration architect can support. So one company was mentioning that in their project approval phase or something like that, if anyone were creating anything, any project, they needed to have the architectural board involved in it, and they need to say that this is a good IT organization that we have, and that it should work or it would work with whatever we have. I think that was probably a good thing if you can get the board to accept that in our organization we need this to be true before we can do anything else with our integration. So I thought that was an interesting thing. But it was interesting to see what all the integration architects that we have here were considering, and where the business was going, what they were wanting, what was interesting in that perspective. So I think that was one of the key takeaways from this, that if you are in any organization, it's pretty difficult to figure out how do we deal with this? What is it for services that we as integration architects, developers can provide in correspondence to the full landscape of the organization? Because and I guess one of the other things was there was so many patterns of integration that we don't really know about, and I guess that's the full ISAM methodology that you're actually sharing a lot about, understanding what are the patterns in the organization, figure out what they are, and how do we actually want to support them. And even though you have run it, you'll probably run into some challenges that some people have some integration that it's not supporting, and then you have to figure out where does that fit into our landscape. Is it something we want to support? Is it something we want to do? Or is it something that the business just want to do from themselves? I think one of my comments on it was, well, if the business wants this thing and want to have a go of it, probably just, well, if you cannot stop them, just let them do it and let them manage it themselves. Obviously, sometimes they would then go acquire consultants and do everything themselves. And then they want to hand it over to you in the integration IT department at some point when it's productive, and then you can have a product on it or a full project on it, because there's the business case. You don't need to figure out what it needs to do. You already have it, and you can then scale and apply the application so it works in that organization. So I'm gonna head inside and try to see if I can catch the keynote. That sounded a bit interesting, and then I will share a little about how you can actually improve your development speed. So I hope you like it. I'm doing a webinar next week, I think it is. You can see that in the link below. So I hope you want to join that. I will share a little about some of these takeaways and how you can actually improve this. So if you like this video, please hit the like button. I really appreciate all the shares that you are creating out there. So thank you.